The government shut down. Interest rates are kind of at a standstill. There's more homes on the market than in the past few years, but there's still not enough. And there's a lot of inventory. Then there's a lot of demand, little demand, a lot of demand. If you're like me, you're probably seeing a lot of different real estate headlines. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the top 5 things that you need to know to confidently move into the market, whether you're a buyer, seller, or really a renter. But first, I am a realtor here in Orange County. So if you are looking to buy, rent, or sell, make sure you reach out to me. All my information will be in the description below, but I will also put my number right here. That way you can easily give me a quick text or a call. But now we'll get back into the video. So number 1, let's talk interest rates. Now right now, because the government is shut down, interest rates really aren't moving. They're hovering roughly between 6.32 and 6.37 since the shutdown. They haven't really gone up above or below that. Reason being is the government gives us the data that we need to know so that the interest rates will either go up or down, depending on the inflation data, depending on the jobs report, depending on Fed rate cuts. So all of the government things, we need to see what's happening. But the government shut down, so we don't have that information. So right now, interest rates are kind of at a standstill. Number 2, the inventory. You might see the data, and I've posted videos about it too, that we have the highest inventory in the past 5 years. Now this is true. However, 5 years ago, we had the lowest inventory that we've ever had. So right now, for instance, in Orange County, we have 5,000 homes currently for sale on the market, give or take. Now to put that into perspective, before the 2008 crash in 2007, we had roughly 15,000 to 17,000 homes on the market. So we're nowhere near crash levels, and I would say average levels are anywhere between 8,000, probably 11,000 homes on the market at a time. So do we have a lot more homes for sale than we did when it was in the low thousands? Yes. Is it anywhere near average or anywhere near crash levels? Absolutely not. Number 3, prices are leveling, not crashing. Actually, depending on what metro area you live in the US, it was pretty much 50-50. Some places went a little bit up, some places went a little bit down. So with that, we need to understand that it's not this big crash, but it's more of a market correction. And the main reason that this is happening is really because of affordability. Right now, most Americans can't buy homes. And because of that, the market is correcting. However, with interest rates coming down, affordability there increasing, inventory relatively going up, we're going to see a little bit more of that correction, but we're again nowhere near crash levels with inventory, nowhere near crash levels with foreclosures. And all of those statistics that really drive it, we have the low demand, but really all of the other driving factors, bad loans, that's not a thing. We don't have really any foreclosures. It's less than like 1% of houses right now. So we just don't really have the factors for anything of a market crash, but we do have factors for more of a market correction. And also to make it a little bit more clear, there's always the big economists who basically do their predictions on what's going to happen in the housing market. You have the very pessimistic people, you have the very optimistic people, and you have the people in the middle. Now, the pessimistic people, we'll just talk about them. Over the next 5 years, they're expecting roughly a 7% increase in home prices. So does anyone really, or at least do any experts think there's going to be any crash in the real estate market anytime soon? The answer is no. Number 4 is sellers are needing to get realistic. Like I said, 2021, 2022, when there was 3 homes on the market, homes would sell in 10 days over asking with 10 different offers. Now, the expected time on market here in Orange County, at least, is roughly 80 to 90 days. So that in comparison to a market where it's sold overnight practically feels like a long time. It's still technically pretty average in regard to what we want to see in a market. However, sellers are going into sales with this expectation. And that's going to answer my next point in a little bit. Is number 5, buyers have opportunities. Reason being is because of the affordability crisis, and sellers still need to sell their homes, and it's not selling in the time frame that they need to solve for the affordability issue, because a lot of the time they're needing to sell and get into a new home, or they just want to get it sold quick. So what's happening? Right now, 44% of sellers are giving some form of concession to buyers. Now, in non-realtor terms, what that means is sellers are giving buyers money, not just a price reduction, giving them money to help get their home sold. And what they're using this for is to cover closing costs, for repair costs, or interest rate buy downs, which I'd love to talk about. One of the best ones that's out right now is a 3-2-1 buy down, meaning in year 1, it's 3 lower percent, 2%, 1%. So for instance, this will make more sense. Let's say you have a 6.5% interest rate and you have a 3-to-1 buy down. Year 1, it's 3.5%. Year 2, it's 4.5. And then year 3, it's 5.5. And then year 4, it's 6.5. Meaning for those years, you have that prepaid interest from the seller's money. And with that, you can also refinance. So also, every economist is saying that interest rates are going to be lower into the later end of this year and especially the beginning end of next year, roughly below 6%. So if you buy a home right now where rates are roughly 6.35%, do a 3-2-1 buy down, you get a 3.5% interest rate for the next 6 months or so. And then the actual interest rates go down to, let's just call it 5.8. You can refinance, and during that time you had half the interest rate that a normal person would have had. And on top of that, it rolls into the loan, so all of that money that the seller gave you doesn't just poof into the air. Make sense? But that's really the 5 things you need to know about the real estate market right now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe because I release videos just like this one every single Friday. But as always, thank you so much for tuning into this week's video. Can't wait to see you in the next one. We'll talk soon.